blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. That's key. Must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. The night is coming when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had said these things, he spat on the ground and made clay with his saliva, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay. Verse 7 says, and he said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. Go to Matthew for me, chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. It says, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And when the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house. And it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell. And a great was its fall. The word of God for the people of God. You may be seated. Our Father and our God, have your way in this place. Lord, if you will, give us preaching and teaching power, that they may see all of you and none of me. Have your way in this place. We pray that lives are changed and impacted from the inside. And we'll leave better than we can. We bless your name, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. If you two have two hands this afternoon, I'm here. Give God praise. I must tell you, it is an honor and it is a privilege to stand before you for Pastor Downing's 30th pastoral anniversary. To Downing, to this family, to the Greater New Jerusalem family, we thank God for you and for the invitation. We don't take it for granted to be here this afternoon. All right. But I came for one purpose. All right. And one purpose only, is to encourage this man of God. Amen. And Sister Downing, just to encourage them along the way, to let them know that God got you. Right. Amen. Amen. I don't want nobody to be upset or mad. This is about Pastor Downing today. Amen. If nobody else gives anything out the message, long as they get it. All right. Amen. So get out your feelings now. All right. Amen. I'm going to throw a bomb and I'm going to leave in about 25 minutes. Amen. Thank y'all so much, Deacon, from both churches. Thank y'all. Let's give God one big praise before we get going. No, I said let's give God a big praise. There we go. Today, the theme is still standing. And I just want to just leave a thought. Pastor Downing, you was expected to win. The message this afternoon, you were expected to win. expected to win. When I look at life, there seems to be two components that stands out. What people see from you and what people perceive of you.
All right.
Let me repeat that. What people see from you and what people perceive of you. The unfortunate thing is what people see from you and what people perceive of you is only part of the story.
All right.
I'm going somewhere. What people see from you is only what you show.
All right. That's right. That's right.
And what people perceive of you can be skewed or based on their agenda.
All right. All right.
The what people see from you can only be something they see from how you behave.
All right.
The things that you tell them, and the additional things that you do.
All right.
What people perceive of you is solely their perception of what they see from you.
All right.
Because they don't know the whole story.
All right. All right. All right.
They often get the message of who you are all messed up. Because they don't know the whole story.
That's right. That's right, Pastor.
They don't know who God called you to be.
All right. All right.
And often it gets this place because they don't know
Your story.
the whole story. Because if you just got a story, no, they need to get all of it. Because 1% can mess up the whole story. I'm preaching hard, y'all talking back there. See, the battles that you face are battles that are rooted in facets. See, what facets are you talking about? They are an outward appearance that is maintained to conceal a less pleasant or credible reality. What I'm saying today is that many of the battles that Pastor Downing has faced is based on fake presentation. But we put up to hide what's really on the inside.
All right.
I'm going somewhere, but that doesn't always have to be the case. When we make our way to Jesus, we find the light in us and it begins to shine brighter. What we find is that with Jesus, we are able to display a side of us, which is the true side of us.
All right.
In a way that no person can dispute it. What we find is that when we allow the word to be a lamp to our feet and a light on our path, this light not only lights our path, it does something on the inside of us. And this something within us is a transformation that we weren't necessarily expecting. Because if he told you the whole story, you couldn't handle it. So as I look back on life, I realized that God took me from birth to death to life and now to transformation. So he took Pastor Downing from birth to death to life now to transformation. What I realize is that through life, you go through transformation that occurred that brought you to where you are today. Y'all missing out what I'm talking about now. There were some things that occurred that had to occur.
All right. That's right.
And you wouldn't be who you are right now if those things had not occurred. Are y'all with me? So I'm called here today to tell you, Pastor Down, stop playing victim because you are surviving. Today's message is about you will survive. You don't look like it. What you been through.
That's right. That's right.
I gave you John chapter 9, verse 1 through 7 for a reason, because as he went along, he saw a blind man from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Neither the man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus. What you say about me? Jesus said, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night gonna come when no man can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. I can say if he spit on the ground, made some mud with some saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. He said, go, he told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. That means you got to go where I sent you. So the man went and he washed and he came home seeing. So I know you're asking me, how does this work with the text? Well, I know I got some theologians in here. Let me work it for you. So we find the blind man blind from birth. The disciples are with Jesus and they wonder what caused the man to be blind. So we find that there were no generational curses that caused the man to be blind. So there were no hereditary issues that caused his conditions. What we got is hereditary. Your walk is hereditary. The way your frown is hereditary. If you got bad feet, hereditary. But this here is talking about he ain't got no problems. It's just a condition so the Lord can be put on display. Y'all get me? So he was born this way. If you did not know this, his issues, he was just born this way. When Jesus passed by the man, he decided to anoint his eyes and he commanded the man to go to the pool of Siloam. The man went and came back with the ability to see. What we find is that Jesus explained why the man was born this way. It was for the glory of God. I can really just stop preaching right here. I can drop the mic and get back on 4 back to 75 in no time. All I'm telling you is everything that Pastor Downing has been through has only been through it just for the glory to God to be displayed. Y'all ain't getting this revelation. It was so God might be displayed in you.
That's it.
If y'all don't know that, that's a big deal. There are some things that have went on that people see as afflictions caused by something else. There are some things in our lives that if we look at them in the light, we can't see what God is truly trying to do. What we are going through isn't anything other than, it's not something we've done. It's something to be used so God can be put on display. So I know you're asking, how does this connect, right? We all have some things rooted down on the inside of us. That if you put it in the wrong light, we become victims of our circumstances. But God says that you've been through all you've been through. It's not something that you've got to be succumbed to. Despite being a victim of your circumstances and of other people. Other people. I know what I'm talking about, right? Talking about sidebar conversations. Being slick with your comments. Thinking that nobody knows that they don't get back to the pastor's desk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you thought that he wasn't going to make it. But he only went through the things he went through so God can be put on display. After 30 long years, he's still standing. Some came. Come on. So this surviving is rooted down in him, will be used as a testimony for other people. Once we change, Pastor, down in our perspective, our reality don't change. You got to change how you look at some stuff. I had an opportunity, I interviewed Pastor Downing on the phone, and I said, Pastor, And he was like, I asked him this question. He said, woo! That's all he said. He said, woo! I said, what has kept you standing? He said, I had to trust God. Through the good times and the bad times. So really what he's saying is I had to change my perspective. The way I looked at things in 1988, I don't see them the same in 2018. That means I had to grow up. I had to go through some things. And God wasn't trying to kill me. He was trying to mature me. So our foundation must be able to support the weight what you're building it on. So God is declaring in your life, and for what he wants to give you, your foundation must be built in a way that can withstand the pressures of the weight of everything that comes with what God is getting ready to bless you with. See, nobody else don't get it. You got to get it. Everything God has promised to you is yours. But the question is your foundation ready for what he get ready to give? Is your foundation sturdy? Can your foundation withstand the pressure? Because people will put pressure on you. And it's not always good pressure. Are you transforming your perception from not being a victim to now you are a survivor? I'm here to tell you that you have already been blessed with the things that you haven't even yet seen. But building your foundation and changing your perspective will allow you to withstand anything the devil throws at you. So God is giving you time to build it so it can be manifested or what's already yours. And that starts right now. But the question is, Pastor Downing, how soon do you want your blessing to fully manifest itself? See, in a house, it is decorated how you want it. In a basic house, you have a living room, got your bedrooms, you got your kitchen, you got your bathroom, got some couches, you got some beds, you got a dining table, you got a stove, you got a refrigerator. I'm working in your house now. Got a TV. What if you did not plan to have a closet? Where would you put your clothes? I'm going somewhere. Where are you going to put your shoes at? What if you built your house on a foundation with all those things, but you did not build the foundation to accommodate the space you needed to build the cabinets? So what you going to do now? There are some things meant for other people that are not meant for you. We have to stop getting down on ourselves for the failures that we had. Many times they failed, you failed, I failed is because the foundation built wasn't meant to hold who we were. Many times we failed, you failed because the foundation that you had it on was inadequate. Many times you failed because that foundation was meant for someone else, and we are more than that foundation can handle. My foundation, your foundation must be strong enough to handle who God says I am. Everybody can't handle your vision. Everybody ain't ready to go to the next level. But you can't let that stop you because they only want a 2-bedroom when you want a full mansion. So no matter how you build your foundation, lesson number one, no matter how great or how small your foundation is, it must be built on solid ground. Amen, somebody. Amen. You must know who you are and whom you belong to. One of the hardest things we can do as people is to release ourselves from thinking that we belong to ourselves and we accept that we don't belong to ourselves. That we are, even if it's free will, God is still in control. And in that releasing, we gain more authority because God has given you much more. Then God said, let us make man kind as his own image and his likeness so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals and all the creatures that move along the world. So when an author writes a book, that book is still his. Even if he makes 1 million copies. This is the same thing with God. Just because he released us to the world, where there are millions of us, it does not mean that he stops being responsible for the contents within the book. So we are his creation. And we are forever his. And once we remove the worldly spirit, I need no one type independence, then we begin to accept that because we are his. And if we plan everything on him, he will be our unmovable, undestroyable, and unchanging solid ground. Second lesson I'm going to give you, your foundation must be built on Jesus. And if Jesus must be interwoven into the fabric of every part of your everyday life. It says, therefore, everyone who hears the words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on a rock. Y'all know it, don't you? The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat about the house, yet it did not fall because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell with a great crash. Now, in order for you to build your home, the foundation must be built on solid ground. You must build a relationship with God. And the only way that you can stand it after 30 years, you got to know Jesus. Your prayer life got to be solid. You must work to know God in a way that not only do you know God, but when people come in contact with you, they got to know that you know God. Well, I have a witness here. See, you can't stand out here for 30 years and not be indignant with y'all sometimes. You got to know without a shadow of a doubt that you've been born again. That you've been washed in the blood. Because y'all know how to make people get out of character sometimes. Do I have a witness now? Y'all know how to push the right buttons. Y'all know how to be slick at the right time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But you got to believe in Jesus, and you must put what Jesus taught you into practice, into everything that you do. That means if you got 10 members, you can preach to them like you got 1,000 members. See, you gotta, when you know Jesus, you don't take a whole lot of people to move ministry. Because sometimes you can have too many people that get in the way. The third thing I'm going to give you, you must know, Pastor Downing, who you are. Then you got to act like you know who you are. That means that we must understand our identity. We have to understand how we were created. We came out of creation into the earth. He made us from his works. His works were perfection. He created us from perfection. It says, then the Lord formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. When you take perfect and you use perfect to create it, you can only be perfect. You are perfect. Maybe not in their eyes, but in God's eyes, you're perfect. And too often we allow church folks to mess up our thought process because y'all talk so loud at the wrong time. Y'all know how to mess up our thinking. We trying to go one way, you hear some over here. God trying to take it and you hear some over there, you hear behind you. But you got to learn, you got to understand that God created you just the way he wanted you. And I know Pastor Donna is everywhere. It's in Palmetto, it's in Polk County. You got haters everywhere. But we learn when you know who you are. I said let's roll the shoulders back. When you understand who you are, your haters become your motivator. You'll have a witness here. But you know that the Bible said that he will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. He said, I anoint your head with oil and your cup gone. Surely goodness is gone. And I'm going to dwell in the house of the Lord. So that's why on Sunday morning, God can get up here and say, I woke up this morning with my mind staying on Jesus. I came in with Jesus in my heart. After all I've been through, I got to tell the Lord, thank you for all you've done for me. And you can't do that if you don't know who you are. Because you're going to keep me on mute like you be on mute on Sunday. God has been too good for us. Yes, sir. 30 years of ministry to keep quiet on Sunday morning. Let me back up. I know it's not Pastor Down, but I'm going to let you get in on this too. It just looked like he's been good to you too. Y'all missed that one. I said it looked like he's been good to some of y'all too. Way up in the back if you know he's been good to you. That means I don't look like what I've been through. Amen, somebody. So God created us in his own image. And thank God that he made me like him. That means I'm fearfully. I'm getting sick of liberty saying with an attitude. And when I read this verse, I got confidence. It almost made me feel like I had on the cape like I was Superman. It says that when you say this verse, when you are fearful, that's attitude. Don't do this too. Because when you got haters in your life, you got to know how to come back at your haters. You got to walk in here like you own the place. Don't you walk in here like your head down. God been too good to me for my head to be down. When I think about what the Lord has done for me, how he brought me through some stuff, over some stuff, in some stuff, I cannot keep quiet now because I look back over my life and I got to just tell them two things. And you know they're looking at you. Y'all know how they look at you. That's when you walk into the heart. Because I'm fearful. Y'all see it today? That's how church ought to be. You gotta have some confidence. You gotta let the devil know. If the word can do it, I know I got confidence in him because he's been better than me. And I've been to myself. When the devil thought he had me, I got away. That's why on Sunday morning you can't keep quiet. He's been a mighty rock in a weary land. He's been my burden lifter. He's been my doctor in the sick room. Don't y'all know him? Have you tried him? Won't he make a way for you? So when the devil get on your trail, Pastor, you got to get Psalms 139 and 14 in the spirit. I ain't asking Pastor to put his hands up like this. But I'm sure asking to walk in here with an attitude. Amen, somebody. So he come in this Sunday swagging and say, there you go, 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 there you go. Y'all see, but you have to get two hands when you really get it, Pastor. Let's call this. I'm almost done. Fourth thing I'm going to give you, Pastor, because I came to celebrate with you. And I believe that we ought to celebrate because you've been through some stuff. The fourth thing I'm going to give you is the effectual, fervent prayer of hell is much. mean? That the prayer of a righteous person. My ushers, I didn't trick them. They thought I was going to get on out of here. Y'all better sit down. They trying to rush me out of here. I'm here to celebrate. I got like 10 more minutes. They came up here like they getting the invitation of discipleship. Not yet. Y'all heard my voice changing, but I came back down. Since that the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So, above all, stay prayerful. Keep building on the relationship with Jesus. And your prayers and your praise can break chains. Build, number one, on solid ground. Build your foundation on Jesus. Know who you are and act like it. The fourth thing I'm going to tell you is stay prayerful. When you leave here today, I want you to remember just a few points. You got to remember that your perspective matters. Change your perspective and your perception change. There are times when we need to be selfish to be unselfish. Y'all need to hear me now. Because there's many times y'all let folks where y'all at who don't care not even about you. But there are times we need to be selfish to be unselfish. There are times we need inward healing to create a testimony that will help somebody else. Pastor Downing told me, he said, I've been through some things over these 30 years. And it's to help some younger preachers along the way. I don't know how many preachers y'all got in here from New Jerusalem, Great New Jerusalem, but you got a wealth of information that you ain't got to buy. If you don't mind, can I just go off on a tangent for the preachers real quick? And don't be no lazy preacher.
All right.
You think you're going to get up and labor over Great New Jerusalem? No, you got to come to Sunday school. You need to come to Bible study. You need to come and be taught in order to teach somebody else. This ain't about no hooping and no hollering. You need to have yourself together before you get before God's people. I'm preaching hard and talking. I'm going to drop a bomb and get ready to talk to him. He can help you in a mighty way. But you got to get out your own way. You don't know more than the man that God stationed here. Say it one more time. You don't know more than the man that God stationed here. Because if he wanted you to be here, he'd have sent you back in 1998. There's a reason why he ain't sent you, because you ain't got the right humility. When you know how to humble yourself, God can use you. It said you humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, He'll lift you up. You cannot build a house on inadequacies and expect to have a sustaining fruitfulness. This ministry has been sustained. Did I say you had? I haven't said you had no pitfalls. I said it's been sustained. Your house has had some pitfalls too. But the Lord kept your house. What makes you think that He will keep this house? So in the original scripture, I'm cutting across the grass now. Jesus said, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. It was in a blind man's obedience that he was able to see. This transformation change, it was designed for his life. Jesus has already anointed you. But it's not until we are obedient to the command. It's not until we go where Jesus sent us and wash that we can return to whence we came, see. That ability to see where he came from is the difference between being a victim or playing victim, or being a survivor in the midst of it all. Pastor Downing, you were expected to win. Because you are a survivor. Y'all can clap for that. That's a good clap there. Sometimes we don't know what to clap for. That's a good clap. But you are the one that God chose. And what he did, he walked past you to the text. And that urging to be here is evidence in Jesus walking past you. That urging to transform your life is evidence of Jesus walking past you. Are you ready for transformation? What you've been through, it didn't kill you. And it's a reason why it didn't kill you. It's because you were expected to win. There was purpose for your pain. There was purpose, Sister Dowling, when you was trying to support him along the way. That's why many times, Sister Dowling, is that he tries to find a way to protect you from the people. Because there's a difference of being a wife and a first lady. First lady is off the table when you mess with a husband. I wish I could teach you a real church. There's some things you don't mess with. You don't mess with folks' children. Yeah, oh, I'm preaching now. Because y'all know what I'm talking about. Over 30 years, y'all was messing with the children. They ain't want to come to church because they got tired of y'all talking about their dad. I said I'm going to drop a bomb, I'm going home in a minute. And what God would do, God would use adversity to make them who they are. Because they can handle it then, but they can show them handle it now. Are y'all with me? And what y'all don't know, and Pastor Dana don't even know that I'm going to drop a bomb on him too. Just like I interviewed him, I interviewed them too. And they wanted to let me know they had some tough days here at Greater New Jerusalem. There was many times they felt like packing up and saying they ain't going back no more. Talk back at me now. But what happens is when Jesus has preordained some stuff, he will give you some strength that you didn't know you had on the inside. He will have you wipe your eyes when you walk in church. But I can't give you materials. I can't give you materials. See, God will have you wipe your tears, put your mascara back on, and walk right back out here like everything is all right. All I said right there, if anybody can keep you, God can keep you. He said, I'll keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind. Stay on there. You can't do this for 30 years and not keep your mind on Jesus. It'll have you cussing and fussing all at the same time. You say stuff like this, Sarah Dowling. You better not say one more thing. You say one more thing, I'm going to be indignant this Sunday. I'm walking out of here this Sunday morning to go out there and act a fool. Then what happens is, keep it down and say, baby, I got to preach today. You can't go out there acting crazy like that. I got a good sermon this morning. It's going to be a good one for all them Negroes if I get a preach to them. So I need you to hold your peace. If I get up there this morning, I'm going to preach the Billy down with the horns off of Billy Goat. I'm going to get some folks saved this Sunday, but baby, don't you act that way this Sunday. Can you please? We're going to dinner at the church. Can you please just hold your peace? Jenny, don't act stupid today. Dr. Dowling, I need y'all just to hold your peace. Because what y'all don't know, God expected me to win. That means I gotta go through this in order to get to the other side. Is that all right? the midnight hour. And before I leave you, Pastor Don, I got to tell you this. Some people are so sure of a victory that they have even wagered bets as to who they feel going to win the game. Pastor Don told me there were some homeboys out of Haines City. I hope they're looking at me. They said, Pastor Don, I'm going to give you 6 months and your ministry's going to be done. We come to serve notice, station identification. I came to go across the road. Not only has it been 6 months, but he's standing after 30 long years. But how we can do it. So if you're watching right now, put it on Jimmy right now. You gotta let you know I'm still. If you are on the winning team, you should expect a victory. Imagine how outraged the coach of your team would be if you came in around the table, sitting around and saying things like, I don't think I can win. What if you were sitting around the house and the kids heard you? They are bigger than I am. What if they heard you say they're smaller than me? We do not have the strength to beat them. I'm scared to go out there to the field. Imagine how God would feel if some of his players were saying, yet there are many people to claim to be Christians that walk around every day acting like they're defeated. But God said, Jimmy Down, and I have a special playbook for you. Because in order to win, you need the playbook. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God has not given you. Oh, I got a preaching church now. The spirit of fear, but a power and love and a sound mind. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but I've given you a sound mind. Imagine how your coach, the Holy Spirit, must feel. He has given us power. He's given us love. And he's given us a sound mind. Another playbook I must give is 1 John 4:4. But you belong to God. My dear children, you have already won a victory over those people. Because the Spirit who lives in you is greater than the Spirit who lives in the world. He's telling us he's already seen the outcome before the game even starts. You haven't won, but the enemy has us scared to come out the locker room. He said, now I need to give you another play. Jeremiah 1:8 says, but not afraid of the faces, for I'm with thee to deliver thee, says the Lord. You cannot look at the face of the enemy and fear them at the same time. You got to have faith and believe that God is able to deliver you from the hands of the enemy. God says, I'm with you, so you got to keep on fighting because I expected you to win.